Hey, what's up? So today... That was just me testing things. We'll be starting soon. Alright, shall I do an epic countdown? 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And let's go. That was a bit cut off. Either way, what's up? Hey guys, great to have you here. Thank you for joining. So I can already see a couple of people already joining, asking cool questions. Do I live in Manchester? I was just saying I used to live in Manchester for 2 years, and a year ago or so we moved back here with my girlfriend. She's from England, so now we're moving. Actually, here is Ecuador. That's where I live. That's where I was born and raised. So yeah, this is where I'm living. Let me know, guys, if you can hear me all right, if the music is too loud or anything like that. Really appreciate any feedback. Still getting used to the streams, so yeah, any feedback is of course truly appreciated. And today we're gonna be looking at, it's gonna be a bit of behind the scenes of task management. Yesterday I recorded a video that I'm gonna upload today on task management, so I want to do a bit of behind the scenes, so maybe thoughts, maybe answering some questions that you might have. I actually might show you just the video that I did yesterday while I take the notes that I take on each video, timestamps. I'm gonna use the tool called Annotate, which let me actually show you what it is. And yeah, I'm gonna be showing you all of that in a second. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comments. I'm happy to address anything that you might have. And if not, we're just gonna go straight into it because I have this video that I recorded yesterday. So right now it's still in unlisted, meaning that I haven't made it public yet, but I'm still using it for taking notes in Annotate. So Annotate is this tool. Actually, let me send it to Annotate so that I can show you what I'll be doing. So I have this extension right here. I made a video on Annotate in case you haven't checked that out. It's this one right here. Let me actually show you which one it is so that you're familiar. Annotate is a really, really cool tool. Here we are live, as you can see. This one right here. So Annotate, how to take notes from YouTube videos. It's really, really cool. Check it out. Actually, if you guys are interested, here, let me actually open the video. And today I want to help you. You can probably hear that. Okay, so if you guys are interested, this is the tool that I'm gonna be discussing today. It's that one right there. Let me just, yeah, this title is not the real one, it's just a bit of a glitch. And also, in case you're interested, for Annotate, you can have a discount with my code, and that of course helps support the channel. It's gonna make more sense when you actually see the tool, but I thought I'd just leave that in there in case any of you are interested in that. So let me just put that there. I'm just putting that in the chat, give me a second. There we go. Is that working? Let me just do it a bit better. I'm spamming the chat. Let me show my face at least while I do that. There we go, cool. Okay, yeah, I'll just pin that so that you guys can see that. But there you go. With that said, let me actually show you what we're gonna be looking at today. So that's my face. Yeah, so task management. That's my face again. That is not the thumbnail, it's just the default one. I will definitely be changing that. But right now what we're gonna do is I'm actually gonna show you yeah, how things work in Annotate. So right now, you know, like as you can see, that's my face in there. And Annotate is a really cool tool. So right now what we're gonna be doing is I'm gonna be playing the video. I definitely need to lower the volume a bit. And then through the video, I'm gonna be actually using Annotate. Now, in that video, actually, you know, the video where I discuss Annotate, I actually made a bit of a suggestion to use it in dark mode with the shortcut. So let me actually show you. It should be here. So yeah, there's a shortcut. Sorry, an extension. I was trying to use the shortcut, but the extension is called Dark Reader, and I use it all the time, and I absolutely love it. So we're gonna be using it definitely for Annotate because I think it's great. So just like that, there we go. And that way, we're gonna be able to just have Annotate in dark mode, which I think is so much cooler, right? But yeah, it's really up to you. Like I really prefer it like that, but of course it's really up to you. So yeah, I'm gonna be using it. I'm gonna start taking notes. So hey, let me actually pause the music for that so that we don't have any conflicts. So today we're gonna be discussing tasks. So the very first thing that I do is I just write intro. This is just so that YouTube picks that up. Hey, what's up? So today we're gonna be discussing. And then as we go through the video, I'm gonna be taking the timestamp notes. So this is no different from the other videos that I've done. For instance, in this one right here, which is my latest video before this one. As you can see, there's tons of notes under the video, just like that. And that is exactly what I use Annotate for my personal videos. And of course, I use it for a lot of the other videos, you know, the videos that I actually use to take notes for learning myself, you know, but that is the idea. So yeah, I mean, I'm actually going to be taking the timestamp notes live with you. We can watch this video together. If you have any questions, I can always pause and we can address them. So, you know, feel free to drop any questions that you might have. If not, I'm going to start. Where is it? If you guys have any questions, yeah, there you go. Just for anyone that might, you know, jump into the chat, feel free to ask any questions. So yeah, really excited to do this live. It's a bit of a interesting format that I'm playing with. You know, just a bit of behind the scenes of how it works. If we feel like it, you know, if you guys are interested, I can definitely also show you how I do my thumbnails, because I tend to use 3D thumbnails. You know, I tend to just like create these. Let me actually show you what I mean so that you know what I mean. Almost knocked my microphone in there. Okay, so yeah, as you can see in my other videos, or in my channel rather, you know, here I have like all these different 3D artworks that I do for my channel. You can also see them in my website, which is really cool. So today I have to do another one for today's video. So if you guys are interested, maybe I can show you a bit behind the scenes how I do that. Now, until I have my new computer, which I'm gonna get soon, I'm gonna actually, you know, keep using this computer for those designs. I use 3D software, so of course it's pretty resource heavy. So while I'm streaming, it might be a bit too crazy, but you know, here they are. These are the type of designs that I do. So yeah, we'll see if at least I show you a bit of the process behind that. If not, we might just like, stick to how I do the notes. We can watch the video live, and we can answer any questions that you might have. Here we have Jens. Jens, what's up? Thank you for being here. Really appreciate that. Yeah, no, I'm actually, this week I went crazy. I've been streaming. I did my first stream on Tuesday. I did one on Wednesday, Thursday, today's Friday. So it's the fourth stream in the row. I don't think I'll be able to keep up this pace. I'm just really experimenting with tons of things, like, these comments popping up, being able to share my screen properly, having music, which actually right now it's stopped. So let me just put it back. There we go. And yeah, just testing tons of things before I actually build a bit of a schedule for the live streams, but really enjoying it. So right now, feel free to ask any questions. Maybe we're gonna be taking those notes from the video. I never know where to look at it. Yeah, that's the camera. That's where I should look at it. So yeah, taking notes on the video, just for the sake of, showing you a bit of behind the scenes of things, which is going to be cool. In case you just got here, this is what I'm talking about. We're going to be using Annotate, which is a really, really cool tool. And yeah, so that's what we're going to be doing. I'm going to actually be rewatching my video, taking notes on it, so that we have something similar to what we do on other videos, which is this right here. So yeah, and actually, if you guys want to stop at any point to ask any questions, that's also part of why I'm doing the video like this. So yeah, I mean, we can jump straight into it, but feel free to interrupt me at any point and ask any questions. So this is gonna be the video that I'm gonna be uploading today. Let me actually stop the music so that we can hear the video without too much overlap. I will be pausing it, but please let me know if the volume is too loud or anything like that. I think it should be fine, but it's always good to know what's up. For now, I think I just move the comments out of the way just so that you guys can see. And yeah, let's get into it. So that's the video. Hey, what's up? So today we're going to be discussing task management, okay? So this is just to-do lists, and I want to discuss a bit how it differs from note-taking and what is really the purpose of task management. So let's get into it. And that's where I start writing something. That's where I take my notes. So the purpose. Yeah, the purpose, let's do that. So the purpose of task management. I can never spell management every single time. Okay, yeah, and then I just click there, and it sends it to the site. I make videos, I need autoplays, and content and productivity and so on. So, volume is okay, thank you, appreciate that. Yeah, please let me know because I'm still testing tons of things, so any feedback like that really, really helps. Thanks, Jens. Okay, so, something that I'm gonna do right now here back in, actually I can, I guess I could show my face in here. Let me actually move it a little bit. There we go, cool. So something that I'm gonna actually do right now is I'm actually gonna go to settings and pause video when typing. So that is one of the things that I want to modify right now. Yeah, I think that's the only option. It's just because that's not something I need right now. I hope it doesn't autoplay, just for the sake of being able to just control things a bit more. Here I have all of my videos. Here I have one that I was testing a while ago. And right now, if I go to move to playlist, I should be able to move it to my videos. That is where I keep things. I'll just play some music in the meantime. There we go. So in my videos here, I have all the videos that I've done. I accidentally click on that one. But here I have all of the videos that I've done in the past, and this is how I take the notes of the videos so that you guys can actually see them in here and skip ahead. And like if you want to, you can just like always know exactly what is it that part of the video is talking about, So that is what I'm doing right now. Let's actually go to my videos here. I think I have two open. Yeah, let me just close one of them. There we go. Yeah, cool. So here are my videos. We have quite a few different ones, and this is the one that we're working on right now. So yeah, let's get to it. Let's keep taking notes on it so we can jump straight to the specific part. And now I can just exit out of this. There we go. There's a bit of a shout out. Not sure if that's a shout out, but a shout out to the fact that if you're watching this on YouTube, this is also available as a podcast. If you're listening to this as a podcast, the other way around. But yeah, I'm trying to make this. Okay, something I did realize is I might, okay, yeah, I need to be careful with this because I might forget, but I'm gonna mute myself for a second while I play it, because otherwise there's a lot of background noise. So I'll mute myself for a second. So let me know what you think in the comments. If you like this kind of format, it's a bit more of an unfiltered talk, me discussing certain concepts to help you develop better systems, better workflows, and just overall help you achieve whatever you're trying to achieve. So let's get into it. So task management, what really is it? Because it comes from the idea of just having a to-do list. We tend to have paper and we just write the things that we're meant to do. Now, the big concept that we really need to understand is why even bother? Why write it down? Why not keep the things that we need to do in our heads? Actually, a lot of us end up doing that. We might. All right, so in here, yeah, okay, so now let's actually play that for now. So in here, I want to divide things between what is task management and why is task management. This is one of the always controversial parts that I never know what to do with, because I don't want to put this too close to white paper and we just write, but we'll have to do something like that we're meant to do. Now, the big concept that we really need to understand is why even bother? Why write it down? Why not keep the things that we need to do in our heads? Actually, why should we bother to create a system? Yeah, maybe that makes sense. A lot of us end up doing that. We might have maybe a note-taking app where we like keeping track of a couple of checklists of things that we need to do. But in order to have something that really helps us, we need to develop a full system. So I'm going to explain a bit about what that means, maybe even a bit of what are the applications that I use and some of the concepts. So yeah, in here, it keeps accumulating to the side. And that's how I know where I am. I can skip to different parts. I tend to revisit this a couple of times. Yeah, let's keep going for now. Should you be mixing this with your note-taking apps? All this kind of stuff, right? So the very first thing that I want to break down is what is the purpose of task management, right? And to me, that is really... Sorry, is the volume there okay? It's a bit tricky to know on my side, but yeah, just let me know. I kind of moved it a little bit. Let me know if it's okay. Just being able to get whatever's in your head out into a system that you trust. Okay, so in here, for instance, I say, getting the ideas in your head, from your head, into your system. Maybe task system, I'm not fully sure. But yeah, let's keep going. Trust. The more you trust the system, that more useful it's going to be. This is the kind of thing that is like all or nothing. I'm a big fan of Karate Kid and Cobra Kai and that kind of stuff. So Mr. Miyagi always says, if you're going to do karate, do it all the way or don't even do it at all. Task management is karate. Karate. I don't even know how to pronounce it properly. Sorry. Yeah, joke time. If you're gonna do karate, let's say the American way, go all in or all out. If you step in the middle, it's dangerous. So that is Mr. Miyagi's wisdom. Task management is not like it's gonna be dangerous if you don't do it properly, but you're not gonna get any of the benefits. What am I talking? Either way, you're not gonna get any of the benefits of task management if you don't go all the way in, right? This is because you will only be able to have a system that you fully trust if it's something that you can fully rely on, right? So say a task management system in your computer, that is how I do it. I actually, right now, so in here I want to do something like building a reliable task management system. There we go. And by the way, feel free to interrupt me if any of the topics that I'm talking about in this actual video seem interesting to you. Interrupt me, we'll discuss it further. This is kind of like play and keep going, like pause and play kind of situation. So yeah, feel free to interrupt me any second if needed, This is because you will only be able to have a system that you fully trust if it's something that you can fully rely on, right? So say a task management system in your computer, that is how I do it. I actually right now, I always change the apps that I use for task management. The one that I use is called Amazing Marvin. Check out in the description. I actually am collaborating with the creators of Amazing Marvin, so I do have an affiliate. So okay, yeah, this one is actually Amazing Marvin is one that I really enjoy. Um, the app I use maybe, and then Amazing Marvin. Amazing Marvin, there we go. Yeah, because I definitely want to start making more videos about Amazing Marvin. I think it's amazing. I briefly talked about it yesterday on the stream, but like, you know, I think it's a really cool tool that I definitely want to share with you a lot more. The link, that is a way in which you can, you know, support my content. So do check it out if you want to. I think it's an amazing app. I've tried over, I don't know, let's say 10 different applications on task management that can manage my to-dos and my projects, and Amazing Marvin is definitely one of the best ones that I've been able to find. So in that one, just quick little break, because I do want to, for anyone that might join the stream, I do want to have a bit of this message popping up, but I do want to see if it doesn't like completely hide. Yeah, it kind of completely hides the title. So let me try to fix that. Okay, yeah, that's gonna be a bit tricky. Let me just try to quickly troubleshoot that. So in here, let's just actually take the chat. Let's put it maybe there. Cool. There you go. Good enough. Perfect. That works for now. All right, let's keep going. One, I'm able to keep track of absolutely everything that I want to keep track on daily basis, that I want to achieve, maybe today, maybe this week, this month, as well as longer term projects, right? So that is how I managed to be able to take anything that's in my head. All right, so we got a question real quick. Let me just play back the music. A bit of a choreography that I have to do right now. Yeah, so Cool is asking, Obsidian isn't good for task management? Yeah, okay, so I've talked, well, I mean, I've discussed this in forums, but I mentioned it in some videos, but I haven't fully explored why I don't think Obsidian is great for task management, you know? Let's open Obsidian real quick just to give you a bit of an example. So, let me just open Obsidian here in the side. But the main reason why I think that Obsidian doesn't fully work for task management is mostly because it wasn't designed to be made for task management. Like it's a note-taking tool, is a personal knowledge management tool, but task management to me needs to be a bit of a more, I don't know, what do we say, a system that is dedicated for that purpose. Like I think Obsidian can be used for some very basic task management, but I don't think it's really made for that. And I've honestly tried it. I've tried to move my whole task management system to Obsidian, but it just becomes really cluttered. It's really hard to find things. It's really hard to be able to like really know what you should be doing next. It's easy to just add tasks and add more tasks every single day, but like being able to have a system that is really powerful, I think Obsidian is not the tool for that. Right now, Obsidian already open up, because my Obsidian is so heavy, it takes a little while sometimes. But yeah, let me show you Obsidian to show you what I mean. So there we go. So yeah, here's the thing. So here in Obsidian, let's say I'm on my daily node right here, and I want to be able to, like create a task for myself, right? Like say I want to be like, okay, I don't know, wash the dishes, make laundry, stuff like that. Like you can press Command Enter and you can create this task, and then you can check them off like so. You can also go into preview mode and you can check them on like that, on and off. But of course the problem is that how do you even organize this over time? Maybe I added all of these ones to today, but I don't know, imagine that I have more tasks, right? And I already completed maybe like this one, and that one, which might look nicer in here. But then how do I really keep, how do I really keep track of, if I didn't complete this today, how do I see it tomorrow? You know, because some tasks, at least personally for me, a lot of tasks are like of the nature of, if I don't complete them today, I want to see them in tomorrow's list. Now, you know, I'm not saying it's impossible. Let me actually just move this down a bit. There we go. So, you know, I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's definitely a bit tricky to be able to create a system that, for instance, if we go to the plugins, there are a couple of ways. So, you know, if you go to community plugins and you search for task management, there's one called tasks. There's ways to sync it with Todoist. You know, there's quite a few different things, completed tasks, that help you to create a bit of a system in Obsidian. But in my opinion, none of them, at least for my taste, none of them have been able to really create something that works perfectly. You know, I think that is really the problem. So, you know, like, of course, it depends on what is the type of system that you're trying to create. You know, what is it that you're trying to build? Because this is really going to vary depending on what are the type of tasks that you're adding to your system, you know. So it really depends. I don't think Obsidian fully works for at least my needs. I've seen a lot of people trying to integrate it, but, you know, I think it's really tricky to know. Like, actually in the video, the one that I'll be releasing today, I talk about that, about should you try to keep your task management system in the same place as your nodes, or should you divide it? So, great question. Thank you so much for that. And right now, you know, feel free again, if you have any questions, feel free to just drop them. Let me actually just drop that in there. But yeah, so for now, let's keep going with the notes of the video. So yeah, let's get back to it. There we go. Cool. Yeah, let me just real quick, just move this thing. I just need to move it up a little bit. There we go. Okay. Sorry, yeah, no, let me just move it up a little bit more, just because otherwise it conflicts with the image. There we go. Perfect. Cool. All right. So let's keep going into, there's an inbox, which is the place where you capture the ideas or the tasks that you want to do at some point. Then you go through the process of deciding when you're going to do them, or what part of, you know, what project is it contributing to. And then you, of course, sit down and do it, or stand up if you're doing so. Yeah, so this part is talking about processing your task, which is a big part to be standing up of getting things done. If you're familiar with that, you know, getting things done is a system that helps you, you know, like capture ideas and process them, and then being able to take those ideas and actually act on them. So, and getting more, yeah, cool. I'm happy you're into it, you know, and getting more curious about Amazing Marvin now. I mean, I can show you real quick if you're interested, because I think, of course, being able to see it is always more helpful. So let me actually open Amazing Marvin on the side in here. Again, like, sorry for a bit of the delay. It just takes a second for things to load. But yeah, let me open that. Let me show you, because I still want to make a video on that, but I don't have any dedicated videos on my YouTube channel right now about Amazing Marvin. But it's really amazing, you know, that's why it's called Amazing Marvin. I think it's awesome. I really like it. And yeah, I definitely think is a really good tool. Honestly, I think it's probably right now the best tool for personal task management. Todoist is another good contender, but right now, okay. So here I have my, there we go, my Amazing Marvin. Let me actually show it to you. So you should be able to see my screen in here. Let's actually remove this for now. There we go. So this is Amazing Marvin, right? So Amazing Marvin works so that you can create this system where you can just add tasks to today. So let's say, for instance, here I have do a live stream on task management. That is something that I have scheduled. I was just testing it out. You know, this is a bit of a demo. This is not my real like Amazing Marvin setup, because mine is full of like other stuff that right now I haven't filtered properly. But in here you can add something like, I don't know, like wash the car, or even better, like buy a car, because I don't have a car. Let me lower down the music a little bit just to be on the safe side of things. There we go. Perfect. Yeah, so, you know, like buy a car first, and you can reorganize these things so that buy a car is before it. And once you buy a car, then you can wash a car, and you have little things like this really cool animation of the Amazing Marvin mascot. And then you can have things also as the master list. So when you open the master list, here of course I have a demo. My real one looks very different. I can show you my real one real quick. So right now let me just move in here so that I can unfilter my private notes, and I can show you my real notes. But yeah, I just need to make sure that there's nothing, like mostly because I've worked with some clients and I just don't want to display information of them or their names or whatever, personal information they might have. But okay, here it is. This is my main Amazing Marvin, and this is what things look like. So I have things related to my brand, Santi Younger, and then in here I have things such as online courses, YouTube videos, community, Obsidian themes that I'm working on. These are my 2 themes that I'm working, and some tasks that I want to achieve on those specific things. And of course, if I add things to today, I can add this to today, then I'm going to be able to see that on my main page, but because I have a lot of, it's kind of tricky to show you absolutely everything unless I really do a great job at filtering the private stuff from the non-private. It's hard to show you, but I can put the filter on again so that I can show you that today's note. There we go. Yeah, so none. There we go. Okay, cool. So now you can see that, for instance, if I have something in the master list, again, this is right now in the demo. Let's say I have on YouTube, or, let's say go to dentist, right? Or let's add a new task. Let's just say like house stuff, things that you need to keep an eye for on your house. Maybe like, I don't know, like clean the kitchen, right? There we go. So now clean the kitchen, I can add it to today, like that. You can see, well, you can toggle this on and off so that you can have all those extra menus. But from there, you can actually just be able to send this to today's node. So yeah, whenever you put schedule, right now it's already scheduled for today. So when you go here to the main view, you can see that now you have cleaned the kitchen, and whenever you check that off, it's already completed, and you can see in the completed task, wash the car, clean the kitchen, and so on. So things like that. Because I'm already working on this, I'm gonna check it, show Amazing Marvin on stream. Once I finish this stream, maybe I'll check that off, but that's how it works. It's really nice. And yeah, that's basically the idea of how Amazing Marvin works, right? So yeah, with that, let's go back to the video. Let's go back to the video in here. There we go. And let me just put this thing right here so that we can all see that. Perfect. And right now I'm gonna keep adding notes to the video. What a clown. Either way. So, like being able to have a system whenever you have something that you put absolutely everything into, then you will know for sure that when you open that application or whatever system that you have, when you open it, you will know that absolutely everything that you need to do is in there. Therefore, there's no doubts about being like, is there anything I kept in my head? Absolutely everything is in there. Because if you just keep a couple of things in an app and then you try to keep everything in your head, it's gonna become stressful. You don't know where to find it. You don't know if you should have memorized. Yeah, so we have a nice question. Thank you, Kula, for this. So yeah, you're saying, I understand why I fail to do systems in Obsidian. Tasks should be hierarchy, not network. That's really interesting because, I still think it's possible to have a bit of a network of tasks, but I think you're right. I would say maybe tasks work better as a hierarchy. Notes, note taking, I believe, is more of a network, like you're saying. That is what Obsidian is trying to do. But yeah, I do think tasks work better as a hierarchy. There's a bit of a natural process of what comes after what, like there's an order to things. First you do this thing, then you do that thing, right? Like first I turn on the computer, then I start recording, things like that. First I charge the batteries of my camera, then I plug the camera into my computer, I don't know, things like that. Or like the example that I was giving, like clean the car. You cannot clean the car unless you have a car. So first you buy the car, then you clean the car, dumb example, but I do believe that there's a bit of an order to things. And, this video that I'm editing right now, that I'm actually just, adding the notes to, is going to be talking a bit about that. So I'm going to be releasing this video later today. So yeah, definitely keep an eye on that. So yeah, thanks for that interesting concept, because I think that is really an insightful thought on network versus hierarchy, and I really, really, really enjoy that. I'll definitely think more about that. So yeah, let's keep going. Memorized it, you might just lose the information that you need, and it becomes chaos, and it becomes even more stressful than not having any system at all. A lot of people get by actually by not having any system, and that is always really crazy to me. Water break. So I with this, I believe that some people might be able to have a system in their heads that works, but I think most people are this is the biggest reason why they're so stressed, so anxious. They don't know what to do. They don't really understand why none of the projects are advancing. So I believe that having a system is going to be able to take a bit of the load out of your mind. There's the concept of cognitive overload, which is when you have so many things stored in your mind that you can't even take action on any of them, because it becomes overwhelming. Like trying to recognize how many things you have to do all at once becomes a source of your anxiety. So the solution really is to develop a system. And the system just requires you to be able to, for me, I believe the best way to develop a system is by trial and error. You commit to it, you go at least a month, and you say, okay, I'm going to keep track of absolutely every idea that I want to act upon, everything that I have to do. Maybe I have an appointment with the dentist, so I write it down. I want to do this video call with this person for this project. I write it down. Maybe one day I want to, learn how to juggle with 5 balls. I can juggle with 4, but one day I'll learn to juggle with 5. What a show off. Either way, so things that you want to achieve, and these can either be projects or tasks. Now the big difference that I believe really makes or break your task management system is really understanding what is actionable and what is not, right? So for this, let's talk about projects versus tasks. So project is an accumulation of tasks. If you put enough tasks together, they become a project. So the same thing works the other way around. If you have a project, let's say, filming this video for me, that is made up of individual tasks, things such as connecting the computer to my camera, which is how I keep track of everything. The microphone, that's another task. So connect the microphone, connect the computer, connect the camera, set up the lights, because otherwise it looks like this. I have some other colors in the background, as you can see. By the way, how do you like in the new studio? I just remodeled everything, super happy with it. Either way, let's not get off topic, but each one of these things becomes part of the task that is the project of making this video, right? So in that sense, you can realize that absolutely everything I do or I put in my task management system needs to be an actionable task, because if I put in there, make a video, or make a video discussing task management, where do I start? That's not actionable at all. Yes, I mean, if I have it all in my head, maybe if I know the process of making a video well enough, I might not need to write down every step. But for most projects that we do, it's better to actually be able to outline absolutely everything that you need to do, so that you know what comes next, so that you know what you should act on and when, There's actually some science that says, I wasn't checking the science, I was taking a bit of water. Either way, the science says that we don't really need to finish absolutely everything that's in our mind in order to feel the calm or the tranquility of having an empty to-do list, because if you think about it, life, when have you ever said, okay, I finished this homework, maybe in school, or you finished this project in work, or you finish the chores in your house, and you'd be like, oh, perfect, now I feel completely calm because there's nothing left to do. When have you ever experienced that? And the reason why you don't experience that, because life never finishes the tasks that we need to do. That's not properly phrased, but you get the idea, right? You never are done with the amount of things that you need to do. If you finish the chores in the house, now you need to do another project for work. If you finish that other project for work, now you need to sort out your taxes. It never ends. There's always something next. And the moment that you free up your mind from the task of a project, your mind goes straight into the next task, into the next tasks. What a hard word to say. Into the next task. There we go. Right? So what we actually need to do in order to have our mind be calm and, free a bit of that stress and anxiety of the fact that there's always something else coming, what you can do is write it down, because your mind says when you write this down, you're able to know that it's stored somewhere, that you're going to be able to do it if you want to, and that's the trick. You should but you should develop a system that when you write something down and you maybe schedule it, put it on a date, or you say you're going to do it, your mind is going to start believing you that you're going to do that. If you build a track record for yourself where you write something down and then you actually do it, now your mind says, okay, there's no reason to worry, because it seems that when I write something down, eventually it gets done, right? So if you build a track record where you can really trust yourself and your system, then the act of writing this thing down into your system, whether that's digitally or paper, whatever you want to use, then your mind is actually going to start believing you and know that writing down is already a way to calm your mind, because your mind can trust the fact that that thing is going to be done, right? Running out of water here, either way. So now let's move on to the topic of where should you build a system, right? Because, well, if you watch my videos or listen to this podcast, or, if you're into this kind of stuff, you probably already use some tool. You know that I love Obsidian, I love Logseq. I've started to use Notion a lot more recently. And the question is, should you try to have your digital system of task management and project management in the same place where you keep your notes? I used to think that this was a must, but the more I start developing a system that works for me, I realize that it's not. I don't think it's essential. I actually think you might benefit more from having a tool dedicated for task management versus trying to fit it all in the same tool that you use for everything else. Yes, there's some benefits from the context of being able to see your notes together with the tasks that you need to achieve, but I started to realize that it's not an essential thing, because you can always do a bit of, some people don't like the idea of context switching, but the benefit of it is that you can actually be able to have a tool that's really, really good at what it does, and then you can use the other tool that's really good at what it does. So in my case, I use Obsidian, Logseq, and even Notion for note taking. That is kind of the place where I organize most of the things that I'm writing, or most of the things that I'm thinking and that I want to compound into knowledge eventually over time. And then I use Amazing Marvin for my task management, which is the one that I briefly mentioned, but is an amazing tool for just being able to keep track of absolute tasks that you need to achieve. But I started to realize that it's not an essential thing, because you can always do a bit of, some people don't like the idea of context switching, but the benefit of it is that you can actually be able to have a tool that's really, really good at what it does, and then you can use the other tool that's really good at what it does. So in my case, I use Obsidian, Logseq, and even Notion for note taking. That is kind of the place where I organize most of the things that I'm writing, or most of the things that I'm thinking and that I want to compound into knowledge eventually over time. And then I use Amazing Marvin for my task management, which is the one that I briefly mentioned, but is an amazing tool for just being able to keep track of absolutely everything. And it's so aesthetic, it's so organized, and there's a lot of other alternatives to this in case maybe you don't like that one. There's Todoist, which is great. That is the one that I really recommend, especially because it's very simple. There's ClickUp, which is ideal if you're collaborating. I really like that one, but the problem is it's not super optimized for personal task management. It's more for teams. So if you have a team, maybe ClickUp is the best one. But to me, Marvin is the absolute best one for Amazing Marvin is called. It's the absolute best one for personal project management. There's so many features. I definitely will be making more videos on this in the future. But this whole idea of the right tool for the right job is something I've explored in another video. I'm gonna leave a link to that in the show notes / description so that you can check it out, because I think that is really gonna help you decide what app you want to use. And then I actually, I not fully divide, but I kind of have two tools when it comes to task management versus project management. When it's relevant, I keep it all inside of Amazing Marvin. When I feel that the scope of the project is not overwhelming, or there's not that many moving parts or moving pieces to it. But when it's something a bit more complicated, and especially if it's something I need to collaborate on, I use Notion for that, right? I have, my history with Notion is quite crazy, love hate, but now, it's been a love hate relationship for a while, but now I'm back at it. I really love it now. And for task management, the table views, table slash databases are incredible. I think they're unbeatable. So Notion actually becomes a bit of the place where I keep track of more advanced checklists. Maybe I do a process that I have to repeat over and over again, and then that's when I do a checklist of all the process, and that's how I know that I'm fulfilling every step for maybe a project that I do on weekly basis or something like that. For instance, I started streaming. I'll keep you updated on that because I'm really excited. I've really enjoyed the whole format of streaming, talking with you guys. So definitely keep an eye for that. I'll be doing it on YouTube. Shout out to the stream. Let's keep going. And so for that, I have a whole list of every single step that I need to follow. It gets really crazy. There's tons of things: testing audio, setting up the whole process of the stream, making sure that the chat is working so that people can chat and I can show the comments. Either way, like I have a lot of steps that I need to follow, so many technical things that I need to make sure are in place so that nothing breaks in the moment. And for that, I'm using Notion. I also have, I'm doing a bit of consulting for people that want a bit of personalized advice on their particular system. So for that, I also use Notion. I create a workspace where I keep track of absolutely everything that we're doing. Some resources that I recommend, I put them in there. Notion is great for that. That is a bit more of a project management tool that I use. And, I also keep track of more advanced projects that maybe need a bit of more advanced note taking. So yes, I could do that in Obsidian. I could do that in Logseq. I could use maybe Amazing Marvin still, but because Notion is really flexible and allows me not only to collaborate, but also to use these table views slash databases and keep track of absolutely everything, notes and tasks in one place, plus filters and all this stuff. I believe Notion is great for that. However, I have used Notion as my everything in the past, note-taking tool, project management tool, task management, absolutely everything. And it gets too complex in my opinion. I think it gets too crazy. Maintaining it is so much work, which is absolutely everything, notes and tasks in one place, plus filters and all this stuff. I believe Notion is great for that. However, I have used Notion as my everything in the past, note-taking tool, project management tool, task management, absolutely everything. And it gets too complex in my opinion. I think it gets too crazy. Maintaining it is so much work, which is why I still use right now Amazing Marvin for the most part. But whenever I need maybe a project that is a bit more advanced that I need to organize it in tables, that is when I still use Notion together with Amazing Marvin. I use them side by side. Again, like check out the other video that I made on using an all-in-one tool versus a bit of the right tool for the right job mindset, right? Which is what I call the Swiss Army knife, which is, like an all-in-one versus a toolbox mindset, which is like having the right tool for the right job. Check that video out because that might give you a bit more insight. But yeah, those are the topics that I wanted to discuss today. So, just to summarize a bit, I do separate my note taking from my task management, and sometimes I mix tools when needed. As long as I know that my system makes sense, that I know what app is doing what, so that whenever I need to search something, I go to that app rather than, not knowing where it is. That takes a bit of time, that takes a bit of practice. I'm not saying my system is perfect, but I think I've figured out something really good. If you need any help with this, feel free to reach out. There's gonna be the contact link where you can reach out to me in the show notes / description. So yeah, feel free to reach out. I'm really happy to hear what you have to say. And yeah, hop on into YouTube if you're listening to this, leave a comment. Let me know what are the apps that you're using. Let me know if you haven't tried any of these apps that I'm talking about and you might give them a try. Or, if you need any help or any questions that you might have, let me know. And with that said, I hope you enjoyed this video, and let's do a bit of a dramatic exit. But first I need to unlock my phone. That's embarrassing. See you later. Goodbye. Have a great day. All right, that was it. So let me bring back my face. yeah, so that is a video that I've been talking about, that I was, like checking out right now, making the notes on. I think it's pretty interesting to see, um, how people will respond to the idea of having your notes together in your tasks. Because personally, I used to do it, but I don't think it's great, I don't think it's the best solution all of the time. So, yeah, that is a bit of my worry right now. So if you guys have any questions about task management, anything that you might want to discuss right now, yeah, I'm happy to answer any questions. So feel free to drop them in the chat if you have any. And yeah, I mean, be really excited to see if any of you, particularly when it comes to task management, because that is today's topic, and I definitely want to see what people are saying. I really love what one of the comments that we had by Kula a bit earlier. Yeah, this one right here. Like, I really like this idea of the hierarchy versus network. That is something I definitely want to discuss because I think it's really, really interesting. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna be exploring that topic because I really like the idea of that. So yeah, I mean, it's pretty interesting. I still have to do the thumbnail for the video, and I need to like decide on the title and so on. But it should be uploaded today, maybe tomorrow. But yeah, with that, you can of course jump into the video, comment, ask any questions, and of course feel free to reach out if you need anything. So yeah, that's it. Cool. So yeah, so with that said, if there's no questions right now, we're gonna end this. Again, super happy to answer to any questions that you might have, maybe on the comments of the video, or if not, feel free to reach out. I have all my information and contact on my website, which is santiyounger.com, and that way you can reach out, ask me any questions if you have any. And with that, I hope you enjoyed this stream, a bit of a different format. Like in the next streams, this was the last one this week, I believe. The next week, I'm gonna be going to, I have a bit of a holiday, but after that, I'm gonna bring back the streams, and I'm gonna have a bit of a schedule. Yeah, actually, we got a couple of final questions. I have to go in a couple of minutes, but we can answer this too. So what is your mindset to act tasks? And we also have, did you move to Mac from Linux? Okay, I just want to say this real quick. I still use Linux. This is my Linux laptop. So I still have Linux in here. But this one right here that I'm using right now is my old iMac. I'm actually going to be replacing my iMac for Windows. So I'm actually going to be moving back to Windows in a couple of weeks, hopefully less than a month, because that one's going to be an amazing setup. It's going to be super powerful. Yeah, thank you so much for being here. I actually want to reply to this real quick before we wrap it up. What is your mindset to act on tasks? Is that what you mean? If you can elaborate a bit more, feel free to do that, just to really know what you mean. But yeah, when it comes to mindset, I would say the main thing is to capture almost everything that you have in mind, things that you want to act upon. I believe very heavily that not everything should have a goal, okay? That is one of my beliefs that is very counterintuitive. Because we're, since we're raised, we are taught that we should always have a goal and act upon it. Projects are kind of goals. But whenever you have a goal, it becomes like a bit of kind of a deal that you make with yourself. Like, I won't be happy until I achieve this particular goal. Or like, I won't feel fulfilled until I achieve this certain milestone that I set for myself. So I try not to say like, okay, this is the goal. This is what I want to achieve by next week. So based on that, I'm going to have this amount of tasks. Rather than that, I try to keep my possibilities open. I try to keep an open mind to different opportunities that might come my way. Maybe things that I might show some interest in the moment. Be like, okay, right now I'm super passionate about streaming, right? Which is something I've been playing this whole week. Every single day I've been streaming. Next week I'll take a week off, but after that I'll have a bit of a schedule. But streaming is something I was really passionate about this week. So even though it didn't make perfect sense, like, what is my goal? What am I trying to achieve with this? Rather, I just follow what is called interestingness. And interestingness is the idea that whenever you have something that just gets your attention, let me just put this thing right here. Yeah. So that, if you guys have any final questions, we can definitely cover them. That if you have any interesting thing that just gets your attention, you should allow yourself to just commit fully to that, even though there doesn't seem to be any rewards inside, anything clearly saying like, okay, this is gonna be worth it in 6 months, or talking in financial terms, like if I start a project, is this even gonna pay off eventually? Is this gonna be profitable? Sometimes we need to think about those things because we need to pay rent, we need to pay expenses and stuff like that. But a lot of the times, I think it's okay to just follow whatever hobby or whatever passion that you might think is rewarding for yourself. So I actually base my task management system around that philosophy quite a lot, being like, okay, is this something I'm passionate about? Is this something that I believe is gonna give me some sense of meaning in the long term? And if it does, I think it's worth doing. I don't think it's necessarily the case that you need to have a goal always in mind. So yeah, that is my philosophy with that. I think that's a nice place to end it in. If you have any questions, again, feel free to reach out either directly or in the comments of my upcoming video, anything like that. Super happy to engage with you guys. So like if you can always reach out in santiyounger.com/contact. Let me just write that down so that you know where to reach out. Contact. There we go. It's in the chat. Yeah, santiyounger.com/contact. And yeah, so feel free to reach out anytime. And I hope you enjoyed the stream. I'll be back in 2 weeks. Be taking the holiday next week. But after that, we should have a bit more of a schedule for the streams. And yeah, then I'll keep you updated on what days I'm going to be streaming and so on. But thank you for being here. Really appreciate you for taking the time to give this a shot. Again, it's still a bit of a new format that I'm playing with. So I still need to figure out quite a few things, but really enjoying it. And I'm really looking forward for future streams. So hope you had a good time and hope you have a great day. So with that said, we'll end it there and I'll see you next time. Bye.